What's going on, spiritualites? Welcome back for another video. It's your man Crypto Spiritual here, and this one is the weekly recap. Yeah, you guys know when I start off the weekly recap with a deep sigh, you know it did not go well. No, no, it did not. But we're just gonna jump right into it, get it over with, and hopefully we've got a better weekly recap for you next week. I will say the theme of this week is good ideas, bad timing. Monday was a holiday, so no trading there. Just relax with the fam. Didn't really do too much. Tuesday, I was like, okay, it's time to make up all the losses from last week, get myself back up, and it kind of led to some over trading. So it was my busiest day. I did take 5 trades on this day. Um, didn't go so well. Did not go so well. I did get stop loss hunted on one where it hit just exactly my stop loss and headed straight down to my take profit point. So another one hovered over it a little bit, came back down, hovered over a little bit, and then ended up going back down. So as you can see, the theme coming in here, good ideas, bad timing. Then I did take one towards the end of the day that really I shouldn't have taken probably, and it just was something like of a wash. Again, over trading, trying to force something so that I can make up what I think I need to make up, which is not the right mindset. But I will say I didn't start in that mindset. Again, we'll talk a little bit about that later. Wednesday, I did not trade at all. It was kind of boring. Price really kind of skyrocketed up here and then dumped right back down. So I didn't really have anything and then skyrocketed up. So there's no really trends to kind of follow to kind of get in. So I really sat on the sideline and then watched it range for the rest of the day. On Thursday, I did try a trade, but it lost fairly quickly. Let me see if I can pull that up. No, here it is. It was actually at XRP. Um, so as I said, it lost pretty quickly. Saw price breaking down, breaking down. Thought we could at least get this lower, lower. That was not the case until once again a little bit later. There's that theme popping up again. Good ideas, bad timing. And then Friday didn't take any trades. So let's see what that looks like on our stat sheet here. Again, I told you that Tuesday was my biggest day trading. Wednesday was kind of a wash. Thursday I took one trade, and that was really a Wednesday night trade. It was Thursday in the morning as I was getting off work. I wasn't too tired, so I decided to go ahead and try a live trade. So and Thursday and Friday didn't really have too much time outside of work to take any trades. So a lot of heavy volume on Tuesday where it looks like I was just kind of getting washed around, and tried one on Thursday, which could have not tried. But again, good ideas, going in the direction that I want, not getting the right timing. So, in my back testing, I will work on that. But I'll also be okay with still sticking to my strategy because it has worked the way I've been using it. So I don't want to become overly patient where I'm sitting on the sidelines the whole day. Still going in this with some confidence. Moving on to my favorite win. Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't have any. Moving on to my favorite loss. That does come on this Tuesday. And I am not lying, guys, about this. This was the actual trade that I took. And you can see I thought price would stay below these lows right here. I wicked it. My stop loss was 128.54. Price hit 128.55. And then proceeded to go down here to my take profit point. So that would be my favorite loss because, I mean, it was a great idea. Great idea, great setup. Unfortunately, price just did its own thing. Took my stop loss by 1 cent. Here was probably would have been my second favorite loss since I don't have a favorite win to show you guys. Again, barely wicking over my stop loss to get into this area, and then boom, dumps off. Would have made another full take profit. Okay, So those are my favorite losses, I guess, of the week. Great ideas. At this point, you guys already know the rest. Moving on to my improvements. I don't really have anything here. I don't want to start adjusting and doing too much. I'm still working on something with the RSI in the background. Um, might be combining with the 200 moving average. Still need to do some more back testing with that. I'm not taking it too seriously. Still sticking with the strategy. Not trying to muddy it up with any extra or convoluted things. I just want to keep it very simple. So if I find a simple way to use RSI and 200 moving average, which I think I am kind of finding that, I will update you guys. For now, I'm still just sticking to what I know when trends break and trying to catch that continuation. And also trying to find that right timing. As for the mental part, real life stuff, um, still dealing with that things that I have been dealing with, family stuff in the background. Still trying to figure out, you know, all that stuff. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I'm not always in front of the computer. I don't always have my off days to be able to focus like I was when I first started. So I will say that is kind of taken away from what I've got going on here, but I don't think it's super detrimental where I need to just take a break completely. I may take some more losses than I mean to. I may be more susceptible to mental mistakes during this time, but I do think I stay focused as much as I can and try to keep a level head when entering into these trades. I won't lie though, the live trading does get emotional. I want to watch it the whole time. I want to make sure that prices or levels get hit. I want to make sure I'm not losing, So I think for the next week's focus, I really think I'm going to focus on how to manage my time while I'm in a trade. Set those alerts, walk away. It's hard to do back testing at the same time because I always want to flip over to the tab. I'm back testing on one tab, but I can always just flip over to the other tab to see how my trade's doing and update me on my trade. Not to mention the price is scanning at the top on the tab. So maybe close that one, open a fresh tab, a fresh window, and not be able to see all that stuff. Maybe I can try that. But yeah, I think the focus for next week for me personally is going to be how can I stop watching trades, because that's where the emotional factors come in, and that's when you start making mistakes or start believing in something that may not be true. So, kind of a quick one this week. Not much to report on. Oh, I didn't show you guys the summary. As you can see on the summary sheet, back to back -4% weeks. Pretty tough, pretty tough. But only down 2.5%. You know what that means? That means one win and I'm back in this. Not to put any pressure on me going into next week and trying to get that first win right off the bat, but I do think it's time for a win. Right? I haven't had a win since January 6th, earlier this year, and leading into this week, it is the 26th. So 20 days without a win. It's tough. It's tough. So hopefully I'll be able to bounce back, maybe with a couple wins. Who knows? With the back testing that I continue to do in the background, making sure my eyes stay fresh, kind of get into that flow and that process. I do believe I'm going to have a win this week. I did not expect not to have a win last week, but when you limit to only 2 days trading and a lot going on in the background, it's more understandable than when I can back test and it's as if I could stay in front of the computer 24/7, 5 days a week. So I understand that there's going to be a little difference, but let's see if we can get some success with this week moving forward. And with that being said, please keep in mind this is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only. Before you begin investing and or trading your hard-earned money, consider consulting a financial advisor. And just remember, this is the journey, not the highlight reel. Trade smart, live free.